know if you can see it, but that last banner there was supposed to be the one we drop here, and it pains me to do it.
Oh, it's Lamar and Harden.
It's Lamar and James Harden. It's the Spider-Man meme. And Brew, you know that once upon a time I was maybe James Harden's most vocal defender.
You thought he was the best player?
The best player to never win a ring, and I thought he was somewhat unfairly maligned. And I was like, you know, you can't be this great in regular season, and then eventually water will find its level. I'm not going to be fooled again. They are both unique players that no one in league history has been exactly like them. Either one. They both are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yes.
They are both MVP or MVPs repeated. They are both iconic. And they are both wholly and entirely unreliable in the biggest spots. It doesn't mean you'll never come through, but it means you are a fool if you say, I know they're coming through. I trust them to come through. And yesterday, to me, was the full Lamar Jackson experience. You have, on the plus side, these dynamic runs and back-breaking runs. It wasn't back-breaking in this game, but they can be. The 3rd and 8, he's running around these scrambles. A couple, oh, this play's dead, this play's dead. Oh, that's a 50-yard touchdown. The Isaiah Likely play and, those plays.
That was a great.
And then a bunch of checkdowns to nowhere, deep balls that have no chance, missed layups, and really questionable decisions on putting his body at risk when running the ball. So my fear doesn't lie to me. How I feel watching these games as a diehard Chiefs fan, someone that bets money on the games, grew up in Kansas City. So you can tell me it's unfair, this shouldn't be the ranking. But I've watched the Chiefs play Joe Burrow. I am more worried. I've watched the Chiefs play Josh Allen. I am more worried. You're going to hate this, Wilds, but Brew was with me. I've watched the Chiefs play Justin Herbert. I was more worried.
Yeah, Herbert.
The Chiefs haven't played C.J. Stroud yet. I think I'll be more worried. I'm not worried when I'm playing Lamar. I'm just not. And so, I was not. I know he had almost 400 yards. I was not impressed.
Do you want to go
And I was not
first?
worried.
No.
Because you love Lamar?
No, I love Lamar, but I wasn't impressed by this performance. I also thought, Brew, and just put this in your, I'll give you another question.
Speaker.
It felt like he wanted this game to a point where he was acting, it was almost Elway-esque in the Super Bowl.
Well, that was the last game of the guy's career.
I know, but that's what it felt like. He's like, I need this game badly. I'm going to leave it all on the field. I have to do everything. I'm going to take off. I'm going to lower my shoulder. He's really going for it. And the fact that he came up short,
well,
even though you're emboldened, I was disappointed.
He ran terrifically. He verified what we've said and what I've said. He wants to run this year.
That cannot work. I
agree. Even the plays where he didn't, I mean, obviously lowering the shoulder, he won't last.
He initiated more contact than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he won't last that way. But even the plays where he didn't do that, I just don't think he can run this much because he was running into a lot of traffic. And he was great. I do think overall it was like you said, you got both, you got a lot of both. He was great in a lot of ways. He kept them in the game. Some of the passes he made, like you said, Likely, a couple other passes, plus the running. It reminded me, now it wasn't as good as Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. Remember Jalen? But hold on, listen, hear me out. When Jalen threw for 300, ran for 70, it wasn't as good as that. But it reminded me of that because Jalen was great, but lost them the game to some degree when he had that unforced fumble that Nick Bolton returned for a touchdown. Lamar was great in a lot of ways, but lost them the game when he couldn't hit Isaiah Likely or Zay Flower in that last possession.
I did not think he was
kept
great
them in
at
the game.
any point.
Oh, I do. I thought the way, and it's different. It's always going to be different with him. He's not an elite passer. We all know that. He's a good passer. Now, yesterday he wasn't even good a lot of times.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But his running, that's however it works. Running worked, and he kept them in the game and gave them a chance to win against the two-time defending champion who is better this year.
He also made the exact same mistake on the exact same spot of the field they made in the AFC title game, which is let Chris Jones, it was maybe a minute, no, it was Chris Jones in the AFC title game, get around and strip sack him. Like that is, I understand that's a blown, I understand that but right, but that's awareness. That is like sometimes.
But that happens. I mean, that's always been a challenge for him.
Yes,
you know.
I agree, and so I did not think he was great yesterday. I thought he had some awesome moments, and overall, if we were giving a grade, I'd give him a C for the game as a whole.
I would have given him at least a B.
Okay, Chris Broussard, not the only person emboldened by the loss. Isaiah Likely sounded more confident. Brew, take a listen.
I say this is probably the worst game we're going to play all year. So if this is the best that they got, I mean, good luck in the postseason.
Okay, Brew?
Look, as much as I like the Ravens, I want them to verify my pick of them winning the Super Bowl. Some of the stuff they say is just crazy. Like Lamar, and I'll leave it out there that maybe he didn't see the replay. Roquan Smith also said he thought it was a touchdown to Likely.
Yeah.
If they saw the replay and they say that, you just can't say that because it obviously was not a touchdown as much as I wanted it to be. I like the fact that they're not bowing. They're not going to kiss the ring of the Chiefs. I like that. They put on their pants one leg at a time just like us. I like that. But when you talk this way, you got to back it up. If you don't back it up, it looks crazy. And so they have to start backing it up. I'm going to believe that they can, but you just
To his credit, it does feel like bulletin board material, but he has a point. Last year, the Ravens started slow against the Texans, and then they really turned it on. Their last 11 games, they went 10-1.
How'd the Chiefs do from game one to the end of the year? Did they get better or they stayed the same? Did the Chiefs play their worst game?
No, I don't think that. I don't think
not their worst. Did the Chiefs play poor? Did the Chiefs peak at the end of the year?
They peaked at the end of the year.
It's an idiotic statement by him.
But I'm saying everyone's saying, hey, we got. Not every team goes 10-1 and increases their points.
No. Of course, you're 100% right, Wilds. My point is, Justin Reed was on Kay Adams' show today and was asked about this, and he was like, I hope everyone's worst game of the year is Week 1. He's like, the way it's supposed to be. He's like, it's supposed to get better and better. And of all the teams to be like, see what they look like come the playoffs. That's
probably
with a two-time defending. But by the way, this to me is part and parcel of an immature team. Lamar's saying, I still think he scored, and then later in the press conference being like, yeah, there were a bunch of calls that killed our big momentum, killed our drives.
That came a little bit from Harbaugh, too.
Well, okay. Exactly.
Well, they did make some bad mistakes.
Which we'll get to Roquan later. Roquan's quotes about Mahomes and then also about we should have won. The left tackle who kept getting the penalties saying, you know, where have we ever seen this before? It's like, I don't know, to the Chiefs last year in the exact same spot, in the exact same situation. I just think it's an immature team. I also think, obviously, bring me the damn bulletin.
Got to go on the board.
This is...
It's full.
Well, it's very interesting you say that, Brew. It is full. And we have made an executive decision.
Oh, wow.
This is the off-season bulletin board. We now have the regular season bulletin board.
I like that.
And we got plenty of room for it. Good luck in the playoffs, says Isaiah Likely. Okay. They lead the whole game against everyone and never against Kansas City. Never. So I would argue quickly that I just feel totally differently than Brew about, of all the ways to lose, this was the best. I actually think this was in many ways the absolute nut low, worst way you can lose, which is you are thoroughly dominated throughout the game, give yourself a glimmer of hope, and then lose in excruciating, heartbreaking fashion. You trail the whole way.
They outgained them by 100 yards.
Brew, can I ask, honestly, Brew, once the Chiefs tied it up, after the Ravens opening drive and the Chiefs opening drive touchdown, 7-7. Right. Both were impressive. At what moment from then forward, if I would have called you, would you have said, oh, yeah, I think the Ravens are winning? At what point in the second half?
They weren't winning. They were down.
No,
so I never would have said they
thought
were
they were going to win.
I still thought they had a chance. They were within 10 points or less the whole time.
Right. So the Chiefs were in control.
Here's what the Chiefs had, and this was another thing that's correctable. The worthy touchdown, not the run. That's just a flat-out great play, the 21-yard run. This is correctable.
Yeah, but
it's one of the
you think
best
Mike McDonald's
defenses
gonna
in the
come back?
league. It's one of the best defenses in the league.
It was one of the
making
best
a
defenses in
blown
the
coverage.
league. Right.
You know what the Chiefs had? I'm gonna take the 3 touchdowns the Chiefs had. Yeah. That's a blown play. Yeah. That's correctable. All right. Worthy's touchdown run just spectacular. Obviously, you're going to make great plays. The other touchdown was, like I said, the roughing the passer that would have probably ended in a field goal because it would have been 3rd and 20 from the 28. They give them 1st and 10 from the 14. And that mattered because the defense was playing. The defense held them to
27 points.
No, but held them to 2 field goals. One in 2 possessions where they started in great field position. Once from their 14-yard line
optimistic
after
than I would be.
Lamar fumbled.